Stephen Danton, the assistant director in charge of the FBI Washington field office, has stepped down. This comes just weeks after Republicans on the House Judiciary Committee named him as one of the 9 FBI employees from whom they would require prompt testimony. Danton, in a December 2nd post to his LinkedIn profile, said, "After a 26-year, 10-month career with the FBI, I choose to retire. Yesterday was my last day." He attributed the decision to the desire to spend more time with his family, saying deciding to retire was not easy. "It's extremely difficult to say farewell to the mission and the wonderful people I work with. But in making my decision, I knew it is time to hand the reins over to the next generation of FBI employees." So far, the committee has requested testimony from at least 42 Biden administration officials, including employees in the Justice Department, Department of Education, Department of Homeland Security, and the White House.
Last January 5th, this hooded and masked person roamed Capitol Hill, planting bombs near the Democratic and Republican National Committee headquarters. A year later, still no arrest.
Correct.
The bombs were disabled before they exploded, but Steve D'Antuono, the FBI's lead agent in Washington, says that they were made to be lethal. Were these devices viable?
Oh, absolutely. They were definitely viable.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. They could have exploded.
So they could have killed people.
No, they could have done serious physical injury or death.
To identify the bomber, investigators have conducted over 900 interviews and scoured 39,000 video files. They've tracked much of the bomber's route, just blocks from the U.S. Capitol.
We believe the individual could have been operating out of this park or the vicinity of this park.
The FBI is still asking for the public's help. Why has it been so difficult tracking this person down?
The individual was covered from head to toe. Hoodie on, glasses, mask, gloves.
Agents are tracking people whose cell phones touched Wi-Fi or pinged the towers near the insurrection or during the insurrection. And Bruce LaShan spoke to one woman who says she was a little unnerved when the agent came to her door.
They don't call first, they just come to your house.
Bree Stevens says an FBI agent told her they were reaching out to every single person whose cell phone put them near the Capitol during the riots.
Say hi, Emmy.
Stevens was out for a walk with a friend and his 2 daughters, and they were diverted by bomb scares until they ended up right next to the insurrection.
They busted the perimeter.
The adults and kids were cordoned off.
Can we just go like up to that tree?
They're throwing gas and
safe?
all sorts of stuff.
And unable to get back to their apartments near the Navy Yard for 4 hours.
You don't want to be anywhere that they're going to go.
And you looked out to where the Washington Monument was, and it was just this siege of people.
Monday night, investigators knocked on the door of her friend's apartment.
You're in your house clothes, and his little girl had just painted his toenails, so that was a little bit embarrassing.
Stevens was out of town, so the agent called her on the phone the FBI had tracked. You thought it was pretty creepy that they could track your phone based on it pinging off the towers.
Extremely creepy, because he explained that they have everyone's phone number from pinging off the cell phone towers, and they know basically exactly where you were at.
You thought it was pretty creepy that they could track your phone based on it pinging off the towers.
Extremely creepy, because he explained that they have everyone's phone number from pinging off the cell phone towers, and they know basically exactly where you were at.
Why not divert any resources to finding who this pipe bomber is? And, you know, Peace recently dropped that revolver. I had an extensive 1-hour conversation with the great Noor bin Laden of all of the discrepancies, all of the dark, dirty details of this January 6th pipe bomber cover-up. It's absolutely scandalous. And we proved, among other things, that the FBI is withholding critical footage of the pipe bomber actually planting the bomb. They've tampered with the frame rate of the footage. They've done all this kind of stuff. And so they're doing this song and dance like they want to catch all these MAGA terrorists. Well, they've done basically nothing to catch this pipe bomber that they were making such a big deal about in the immediate aftermath of January 6th. We know they have more footage that they're not releasing. And furthermore, we know that it would be a very easy identification procedure to use the geofencing technique that the mule, 2000 Mules made infamous. The feds could do that in a second, and yet they've shown no indication of having done so, of wanting to do so. The Democrats, who presumably believed that this was a MAGA pipe bomber planting explosive devices right outside of their national headquarters, the Democrats haven't said, hey, FBI, Revolver News proved that you're not releasing the full footage. We want the full footage because we want to catch this guy who planted explosives outside of our national headquarters. Nobody seems to want to know who this is.
A year later, still no arrest.
Correct.
A year later, still no arrest.
Correct.
A year later, still no arrest.
Correct.